Go. Let me make sure the volume is cool. What's good, y'all? Welcome to another episode. Listen, I'm excited for this guest. Um, this is family right here. This is my lifetime brother, my cousin, Alvin Broussard, Alriginal, y'all, up in here. Um, anyway, I don't even know. He's an artist, portrait artist specifically, right? But he's not locked in the box. He's been evolving. Used to be a basketball star, y'all, giving people the business. No, no, but yeah, man, we was talking about basketball just the other day, how sports was our identity and how as we get older we evolve. I seen this dude evolve. His bearded game is just fire right now. He always have swag. No, your beard is looking fire right now, looking clean. This is the thickest I can get mine. But
Thank you.
but
That's funny.
yeah, man. I'm with my family, and I love this dude. We go back in a day when I used to spend the night over Alvin's house every single weekend, and we played Madden, we played GTA, we played video games, y'all, and we also used to trace and talk about and use our imagination and make scenes and stickman robbing banks and hopping on
Hmm.
helicopters and shooting and whole scenes, you know what I mean, on a whole bunch of
Right.
printer paper. We had an imagination. We got each other. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Our sense of humor. We would look at each other and we just know what we thinking. I was like, man, this dude is like just my homie.
Hmm.
But yeah, we grew up together. Yeah, he's family. Our original, a artist, a creative, a thinker, and a thought leader because I think he thinks his own lane and he thinks his own vibe. And he always never was afraid to be himself, at least from my opinion. When growing up with him, I'm a little tiny bit older than him. But to be real with you, I always admire his confidence, his swag, and his just low key manner. He used to be quiet when he was younger, but he speak loud now with his thunderous artistic expression on the
Hmm.
IG, on the gram, now and on TikTok, right? So,
Yeah.
but anyway,
Yeah.
that's enough. That's a long intro. But
Man, appreciate it for sure.
I'm glad you on here though. I'm glad we did connect.
Nice. Yeah. Yeah, appreciate it. Yeah, we go back to those younger days where we were just starting in like, drawing and stuff like that and
Mm-hmm.
recording like songs and
Yeah.
we like on the tape with the tape recorder. And
Yes.
yeah, we used to do the creative thing when we were like really young before the sports for sure.
Before, yeah,
For sure.
before we even play
Yeah.
sports, right? Before
Hmm.
internet. Yeah.
For sure. Yeah, I remember those days loud and clear now because, now that I'm back into the creative like side, I
Mm-hmm.
think back like I used to think like why did I stop doing it?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because,
Mm. Mm.
I did enjoy the time in sports, but like how much I enjoy the creative aspect of life now, like I think like, man, like why did I ever like, hang it up?
Mm-hmm.
Because like I enjoy this a lot different than what I did when I enjoyed sports or whatever. Like I enjoy this a lot different. Like it's a different type of like vibe to this, and
Facts.
I don't know how I even lost touch with it.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be thinking about that like more so nowadays.
That's a trip because I think about that too.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. And I think if I would have just stayed with it from when I was younger to like going into adulthood, it'd be a whole different trajectory in life. But
Mm-hmm.
I try not to hang on that too much,
Yeah.
and just just enjoy the moment and being able to like create and having a drive to create and to produce stuff and work on projects, having that drive. I just latch on that now, but
Mm-hmm.
and I think from time to time how life would be if I, would have just stuck with it for
Mm-hmm.
sure, for
Mm-hmm.
sure,
Mm-hmm.
for sure. Because how like dope it is to like work on projects and complete
Absolutely.
projects, and
Yeah.
you chase the ideas that you have in your head.
I remember in high school,
And
I was making logos in eighth grade.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just subconsciously doing it. I didn't know, oh yeah, this is what, because what modeled us for black man was either entertainer. I wanted to be Puff Daddy or, you know what I mean, Deion Sanders. You feel me? So it
Mm-hmm.
was either athletes or entertainment. But the creative aspect, it was just naturally in me. But then where did it go? I think about that too. But I was thinking back in high school, I was like, I was still attracted. I remember being like in sports, that was my identity. But when it came to the media, I was still attracted to that, but I just didn't go over there because I was over
Mm-hmm.
here. And I just always wondered the same thing. Like, what if I would have picked up a camera then and just went into straight up creative?
Right.
Woo! I'll be a beast. I'll be.
Yeah.
But I'm
Right.
glad. I'm glad
Exactly.
though. But I'm glad. I'm glad. Like you said, we kind of balancing that out. But I'm glad now I can come into that now and have the experience and the maturity of
Mm-hmm.
what I'm about to get and what's coming and what's in front of me now.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. I feel that exact same way
So how would
for
you
sure.
describe yourself? Like just.
Um, I would probably describe myself as like passionate,
Mm,
and and I say that because I think about how one track minded I am on the things that I enjoy. Like there's almost no other direction besides it. Does this suit my energy, or does it go against what I want to be, or go against the
mm,
goals that I have, or go against the ideas that I have in my head?
mm-hmm,
So I would definitely describe myself as passionate for that reason, because and that ruins a lot of relationships too down the line. So it has to be a
wow,
passion. It
wow.
has to be it has to be passionate.
Mm-hmm.
It has to be driven. Um it has to be, tunnel vision,
Mm,
stuff along that lines, because I'm unwavering in the sense of my happiness for my time here on earth is key for me.
mm,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? Maintaining a level head is key.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Trying to figure out how to bring these ideas in my head to fruition is key.
Mm-hmm.
And there's no other way I see it besides that. And
Mm-hmm.
it's if I think back to even when I was younger, like we were talking about earlier, it's really always been that, even before I knew exactly what it was.
Yeah.
It's always been maintaining a level head.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And
Yep.
doing what I enjoy. And being around the people I enjoy too, that's a part of it.
Mm-hmm. That's it.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? That's a part of it, but it's it's always been that for as long as I can remember. I've
Mm-hmm.
been stuck in my ways and I enjoy it.
That's why they call you Alriginal. You know what I mean? That's
Right.
why. Yeah, you always been confident in yourself in that.
That's it. It is confidence. I used to
Mm-hmm.
think I lacked confidence, but
Mm-hmm.
if you think about it, it is confidence. It takes a lot of confidence to be able to be yourself. You know what I mean? And stay true to what you believe in as in your core.
Mm-hmm.
That takes a lot of confidence, because over time you watch how effortless you can get knocked off your trajectory in life.
Mm-hmm.
So it does take confidence. Yeah.
Yeah, one of the most
Yeah.
powerful thing I remember when we was a kid talking about confidence. I remember we was at Blue Lake Park and I got into it with one of the some dude on the basketball court. I was up there just everybody
Mm-hmm.
was out there. You know what I mean? My brothers was out there and nobody did nothing, nobody said nothing. But anyway, I got in a tussle, but this dude picked me up, slammed me down in front of
Mm-hmm.
everybody. I remember this like yesterday. Embarrassing. I don't even tell this story. This is the first time I told this story.
Mm-hmm.
I told my wife. I didn't subconsciously. I didn't realize how shameful it was. I was like, dang, because I never really. I always thought about it, but I never really. But the only person that was there, the youngest person that was there, um, that actually flexed up and got to it like who won it? Like you just like, I don't know if you remember, but you got up and put your fists like the old school Northeast style and like, oh, I'm ready to throw down for my cousin.
Yeah, I
You know
remember
what I
that.
mean? And I'm like, my older
Yeah.
brothers were just like having it. The other people,
Hmm.
brothers, and them just sit back. But it was like the youngest one there, or you know what I mean. I was like, this cat Alvin is about it. He's kind of crazy like me. He's
Mm.
confident,
I remember that.
calm confidence. That's what I call it, calm confident.
Blue Lake Park, yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Not a
Hmm.
lot of people can, remain themselves,
No, that's
while
the hardest
also
thing.
dealing with so many different, like, energies that, are affecting our lives. So,
Hmm. No, it
you know,
is. It's a
I,
gift.
I yeah, that's
Confidence
for
creates
sure.
clarity too, and I'm learning
Hmm.
that in brand, like creating a brand, building yourself up, trying new things. Even when it comes to your art, like your art, tell people about that. Like you said earlier in the conversation, we was artistic in expression, and that went away. Um, at an early age, we was artistic and expressive, but that dwindled off. But then
Hmm.
we all got it back, and it's a whole movement of 30-year olds plus are getting back that creative stuff because we come from a generation where the narrow of pursue of passion or pursue of success was just very narrow.
Hmm.
But yeah, let's talk about that art piece and your process in that, and yeah,
Um,
and how confidence work in that. You know what I mean?
it's I am a more quiet person. And it's not because I don't have a voice. It's mainly because I'm an observer. Like I watch what's happening around me. Um, while you're an observer, you know what I mean. You don't develop the social skills that to people who are always talking to each other. They're
Mm.
always in the crowd. They're always, you know, opinionated, or they're always expressing themselves. While
Mm-hmm.
being an observer, you don't have the opportunity to express yourself so much.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like this is where art comes in, where
Mm.
it's helping me, who never really, had that experience in socializing,
Mm.
find a way for me to actually have a voice, or actually like speak up.
Wow.
And
Wow.
that's where it helped me out a lot, because even in public, if I'm drawing in public, right, people can't help but to like distract you. So that's forcing me to interact in situations where, and I don't want to call it a distraction, because I don't really feel like it's a distraction, because I feel like people are genuinely interested.
Mm-hmm.
But it's forcing me into situations where I have to explain my process, or I
Mm.
have to explain what this is, or I
Yeah.
have to explain the reason why I'm doing what I'm doing.
Mm.
And it helps me with having that voice that I didn't have, growing up while I was an observer. So,
Mm-hmm.
that's what art brings to my life. It brings that aspect where I have to speak up about what I'm doing, my processes. That's that's where
Mm.
that comes in. It gives me that voice where I didn't have that before. You
Wow.
know what I mean? It gives me the opportunity to, speak up more, and,
Mm-hmm.
start to like, it forces me out of my box, out of that little box of like, you just a quiet dude that don't say nothing. You know what I mean? You
Mm.
don't socialize. You don't
Mm.
you don't crack too many jokes, or
Mm-hmm.
like, you know what I mean. You
Yeah.
don't. It forces me back into that, lane of socialization and giving me a voice. So yeah, that's where that comes in for sure.
Wow, wow, wow. I never heard nobody spoke how art and creativity, because I'm fascinated how creativity is therapeutic and how it connects us to ourselves. It's like
Hmm.
it's the human way. but
Right.
um but I never heard nobody explain how art, like, and I think you speaking for a lot of people. I think you speaking for a lot of artists and a lot of creatives. A lot of creatives are introverts. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And as introvert, it's nothing. It's beautiful. There's nothing wrong with
Right.
extrovert, introvert, whatever. But It just the way our art is loud though. You're right.
Mm-hmm.
But so people think the opposite. But a lot of YouTubers and stuff like that, they this gives them ability to socialize because they're like me. I'm extrovert, introvert, meaning I have a small battery to be like, hey, 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 then I droom and I want to go. You know what I mean? So,
Mm-hmm.
um, and and be around people, and it ain't a bad thing, but hard to explain that and qualify that, but it is what it is. I love
Yeah.
my oasis is my family. I got my people, and I'm cool. It's hard to get me out there.
Mm.
But I'm
Right.
happy. But art has helped me. But the way you explain that though, like I remember
Mm-hmm.
you said in our first podcast that people don't even probably don't know about. You said I was quiet, but I'm doing this art, so you go really hear me now. You know what I mean? And you kind of
Yeah.
speak in that same tone, like
Yup.
art is a medium for your socializing, for your, and I think that's human. I think that's beautiful. I think that's natural. I think that's wonderful how you
Mm-hmm.
is both and in that. Wow.
No, very true. Very true. It definitely does. It does that. It does that even for your own mental, where it's giving you this confidence to speak up,
Mm.
because you'll finish something, like you'll finish something. There's nothing like finishing something that you did with your own skill set, and you I hope that more people get the opportunity to create something, so they can see like how good it feels to
Oh.
um be able to give yourself your own promotions in life. Like
Yes.
when you finish a piece or you finish a project, it came from your hands, from
Mm.
its from the thought process to when it's done, or the final piece, or the final, where whatever whenever you finish.
Mm.
That feeling, people don't understand that feeling, how it's real accomplishment. It's
Mm-hmm.
better than getting a promotion at your job.
Mm.
It's better. It's better than getting a promotion at your job. If you don't create, you don't notice how good this feeling is. And I think that helps also build that confidence in us, as human beings.
Mm.
And when they don't have this opportunity to accomplish from their own hands, they don't have the ability to feel this confidence.
Mm.
And this is where it's like, I would hope that I at least inspire people to, like, create more, so they can see projects through and see this confidence that that we're speaking about right now.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's
Wow.
crazy.
Yeah.
It's
That
crazy.
because that confidence, man. What you're
It's
saying is so
crazy.
dope.
With this, I've been in art for 11 years, and that's late in the game too. Like,
Yeah.
I started really, you
Yeah. You a
know,
late bloom. You was a late bloomer.
yeah, I started doing this, consistently from 24 to now. Um, like I was telling you over the phone, like that first 8 9 years, it was just hobby. It was just sitting down every day and drawing. Um, it was a thing that I did, you know, like coming from a place where I had to be inspired to do it. So inspiration carried me through that first, you know, 10 years.
Mm.
And then there was a
Mm.
shift that happened where, I even started to panic a little bit. I
Year
used to
11.
I used to think, like, man, if I'm not inspired to, like, draw, how am I gonna, like, continue to produce content, or continue to,
I get it. Ooh.
draw? How am I gonna continue to do this if I'm not inspired?
Yeah.
And I started to panic, like, I spent these past 11 years, you know what I mean, putting so much effort in my skill set, that if I'm not inspired to do it anymore, that 11 years must be a waste.
Mm.
I had to really sit with myself and go over this. I was even
Mm-hmm.
in this time, I was even, like, calling, like, my friends, and, like, calling the people around me, and I was asking, like, getting as many opinions as possible, because
Mm-hmm.
I started to like panic just a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And then it hit me. Oh, after this 11 years, I have a skill set that didn't go away.
Mm.
The inspiration might not be there, but the skill set is still there. So I didn't really lose. Only
Mm.
thing I only gained, and I gained that ability to just make stuff now without being bound by like, inspiration. Like I gained that the ability to, you know, push myself into a lane where I can start working on bigger projects. I can start focusing my effort in business structure. I can start focusing my effort in business strategies,
Mm.
you know, bigger projects. And I was thinking like that's how you carry yourself over to the next 11 years.
Mm.
So it's appreciated now because I can just see it as like now I have the tools to go even further with my craft.
Wow.
Now that I don't have the inspiration behind it, I can push myself further and evolve my skill set further now because I'm not tied down by the thing like inspiration.
Mm.
You know what I mean? I can just move with my skill set and my abilities and what I want to do.
Mm.
So now it's like just do it. Without the
Ooh.
inspiration, I just have to just go. It's like a green light. That green light is amazing. That green light is crazy because my brain is open up to like, more possibilities where I was denying these possibilities before latching on to being inspired.
Mm.
Yeah, that's pretty much what that was about. And it was a new perspective for me because,
Mm.
there's perspective shifts along the way. And, you go through your how people react to your stuff from a social media standpoint perspective where you got to just be like, all right, it's not getting no likes, it's not getting no views, I don't care about it. You can get held by that at a certain point in your craft. You can get held by like people not seeing or people not reacting to it. Then you got to get over that hurdle, and then you got to get over it's just another hurdle. Like,
Mm-hmm.
and I was happy to have reached that hurdle because I started to feel like I was getting to a point where it started to feel a little stagnant. And the stagnant feeling is a
Mm-hmm.
is a tough feeling to like
Ooh.
work through.
Yeah.
But this new perspective helped me work through that time period where I started to get a little stagnant. I started thinking like I should just hang it up.
Mm.
People don't rock with it anyways.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
And you have to remind yourself, all right, it don't matter, like, if people don't rock with it. And also don't matter if you're inspired or not. What
Mm.
what matters is you have the skill set, and the only thing that you should really add after that is just more work, more projects, keep doing what you're doing. You know what I mean? And that's
Mm-hmm.
that's pretty much what that was. It was that new perspective that opened me up to more ideas and more possibilities. And ideas and possibilities, once you have that, it's like,
It's momentum.
yeah.
Man,
Mm-hmm.
you speaking on something powerful. And
Mm-hmm.
you saying something polarizing too. And
Yeah.
it's click worthy because I'm gonna use that. Like how inspiration gets in the way of more possibilities.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? No, that's powerful.
That stuff does.
I think it's very powerful. The whole thing you saying. That's why I'm letting you talk because that is so deep. And how you upgraded like you upgraded from like everybody's trying to inspire somebody, right? We trying to give some of that juice. I'm trying to inspire people. I'm trying to spark. Inspiration is fire. It's dope. But then it gets to the point where we got to evolve beyond inspiration. And you explain that whole process of like, hold on, recognizing, which is a breakthrough, a perspective shift, saying, I got a skill set that I developed for years and this thing is locked in. Hold up.
Mm-hmm.
Wait a minute. The opportunities in this, the control I have, the power I gain, the progress I made. it's not all for naught. Actually, it's all for something. It's I got something valuable. And as I come into this future and as every day go by, this society, this culture serves people like us, creatives, artists like you. And
Right.
that recognition of saying, hold on, this can actually be a business. This actually, see, that realization when you see what you got, you just upgrade it, realize the value, you realize your craft, you realize your rarity. Even because we
Mm-hmm.
face that, you right, we face the resistance. We face that, like, yeah, you know how many times it's dealing. That's why people are afraid to step out into starting and being
Mm-hmm.
consistent because the process you dealing with yourself. It's not so much of will I be successful as a business owner. No, do I will I deal with my insecurities? Will I face with my rejection? Will I face
Right.
with what happens when the inspiration is gone? Then what the heck I'm gonna do? Oh,
Right.
there's no inspiration. It's just a temporary lane. You know what I mean? That means it's a better lane to get on. Oh, this is cool. That's fire.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
You keep adding to your bag, and you have like
Mhm.
it's like a mental freedom.
Mhm.
Um, I've been thinking more recently, like boxes, 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 boxes. We can put ourselves in boxes too when we hold on to things like inspiration versus just learning and then just doing.
Mhm.
Like, you know what I mean? We get ourselves out of those boxes that we allow ourselves to be in. And that's besides the boxes that people try to put you in.
Mhm.
It's like that's a hurdle too.
Mhm.
So it's like you gotta at least develop the mental ability to free our own minds of these boxes so we can continue to produce and create and enjoy our time on this earth.
Mhm.
For sure.
Yeah.
For
And that's
sure.
coming out of those boxes, right? That's
Yeah.
freeing. That's coming out of that cocoon and coming up,
Yeah.
literally transformation.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly.
that's powerful. Yeah, man. And I've seen your art just progress. I seen like that's amazing how. And I seen like even what you're doing now. I see an upgrade. Like I was telling you, I was like, man, you on another level. Then you adding the video component, and that just even without that, like I'm just seeing your art. It's just now you working with big prints, huh?
Hmm.
Doing big stuff. That confidence is just matured. See, you was always confident, but then there's levels to a confidence that gets to a mature confidence that makes you take risks, ask questions, see if you can do
Yeah.
this, and you like the inspiration is gone. It's like what else? How can I scale and grow this? Actually, it's more options. I can get more creative because now no longer that we are driven by this emotion, we are recognizing who we are. We embodying something. We are
Yeah.
now become what we are. We are artists. That's why when I talk to people like you and I talk to other artists, I'm like, I talk to other people who embody that, not just the title, the form. It's not just a coffee shop artist. No, hold on. Wait a minute. I'm this. Like this is me.
Hmm.
Not I'm.
The wishy washy. Like I'll be on one type of time one second,
Mm-hmm.
I'll be on a different type of time another second. It's because like you just flowing with your train of thought and your ideas and stuff like
Yeah.
from that standpoint. You would talk about that that process for for yourself a lot too over the
Mm-hmm.
years
Mm-hmm.
of you were involved in so many things and you're trying to figure out how to condense it.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, and then you're doing that, and then
Yeah.
you're enjoying. It's like you're just enjoying the process along the way, and it just starts to work itself out.
Yeah.
That's
No.
that's crazy. It's crazy how like when you follow these, when you follow the ideas or the concepts that you have in your head, they start to work out for you when you dedicate yourself to
Mm-hmm.
whatever it is that you want to do. These lanes start to open up, and these the pieces start to connect,
Mm-hmm.
and you find yourself exactly where you want to be. It's
Exactly.
it's crazy.
By stepping out, by doing
Hmm.
it, by going through the process.
It's tough, like what I mean, pushing through what you want to do or your trip where you feel like you want to go in life, where you have all these aspects, fighting back against you. So you start to see why a lot of people give up, or you start to see why a lot of people choose the more immediate gratification than the stuff that comes from the long term, or the stuff that comes from the
Mm.
work.
Mm.
So it's you understand, like, all right, then I'm just gonna continue to just do what I was doing.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It got me through 11 years. Why can't it get me through another 11 years? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Why can't it?
I like that.
It's a lot of upset people on the side of like what you want to do
Mm-hmm.
versus what they want you to do. So
Mm-hmm.
it's crazy.
And that's hard. That's the
Uh,
hardest resistance I think everybody face. Not
hmm
everybody. I'm talking about most artists that goes in an unconventional way.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to resistance against the expectations of a family tradition, environment you in.
hmm
You know what I mean? Expectation of parents. People have to deal with that. Like, man, parents believe this way, and yeah, and it's like yeah, creative. And most of these families that believe huge on education or believe one way of success, artistic. How's that gonna make you money? Oh, you want to
Right.
act? Oh, you want to go make content? Or you want to get in media? How is that gonna make money? Oh, you want to, um, or they want you to do something they always wanted to do that they never got to
hmm
do. You know what I mean? Or
hmm
uh, they want to look good to their other peers, and they want to feel comfortable in their own insecurities that they never got to deal with, but they feel like if anyway, it's so many. I'm going deep into that, but so
Exactly.
many different ways. But those are facts, and when we, especially if we come out of family tradition or we come out of a family, we can fit that resistance. Man, we rooted in our family. What our, we rooted in the people that's close around us, or our high school, or whatever, a community. That's hard. That is very
Yeah.
difficult. Um,
Yeah.
People to this day haven't broken away from the huge influence of their parents when they should be grown making their own decisions,
Right. That goes well into adulthood. That don't
Mm.
just stop when you decide to make a change or to get from under your parents' roof.
Mm-hmm.
That those type of like holds affect us well into adulthood.
Period.
You know what I mean? And no offense to parents,
No, not at all.
they they want to see you be great, and they want to see you do
Mm-hmm.
well, and they want to see you you know achieve a success, or they want to see you, they don't want to see you out here struggling.
No.
You know what I mean? So
No.
it's no it's at no offense to parents, because
Mm-hmm.
it's just they don't, if they don't know that there's these other lanes, you can't really hold them for it.
Mm-hmm.
That's just coming from a place of just being ignorant to the possibilities.
Yeah.
So it's
Period.
it's tough, but you got to continue to push through that stuff, and
You
like
do.
work through it and stay consistent, and try not to like let our lazy tendencies get the best of us, because it is what it is. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Like,
Absolutely.
pushing through that stuff is what's key. And if we don't do that for ourselves, we won't even have the opportunity to tell our parents, look, this is
Yeah.
actually productive.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So yeah, yeah,
No,
it's
that's
it's
real.
crazy.
I'm glad we
That
touched on that.
affects us all.
It does, man. Affects us all. It's a beautiful thing to talk about, and the fact
Yeah.
that you can go through that, and that doesn't include peers. Yeah, that doesn't include, you know what I mean,
Mm-mm.
uh, and stuff like
Mm-mm.
that. But no, yeah, that's no joke though. And that's. But when you do walk out your process, and people begin to step out and do like that passion, that to the point where it pushes you through pain, you're willing to endure pain, resistance, but you just found something that's just make you feel alive, and that you would do it for
Yeah.
free. You know what I mean? Do it for the rest of your life. Like there's nothing gonna stop me. Look at, this is your boy. Those who's watching, this is your boy Luel Fantrell. Ain't nothing gonna stop me from creating.
Right.
Like I will do it with nothing in my pocket. I create. That's just what I do. I create with my kids. I create. That's what we do. They like nothing you can do from making me design something, sketch out something, do something. If I don't have my phone, I will use a pencil and a pad. I'll start creating
Right.
architecture stuff. Don't get like limitations will create innovations. I start tapping into other parts of me that will
Mhm.
create and produce something that will keep me sane, that will keep me happy, that keep me alive, and keep me moving forward and walking into exactly what God called me to do. Period. Point blank. And I feel that same energy from you.
Yeah, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. And all right. It's people are gonna be seeing this. It is really at no offense to anyone. Like
Oh no.
it's more like I hope everybody finds whatever they need to get them to want to pursue you know more of what they can do,
Mm-hmm.
or find out what they can do, or learn a new skill, or
Mm-hmm.
start that business. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and
Paint
that's
that
the
painting,
energy. That's what I'm saying. I'm coming from that.
record that song.
Do it. You
It's
said
really
earlier the
that.
feeling you feel though, like that feeling is nothing like that feeling, and that's what I'm saying. Everybody experience it, and it's something nothing can stop me, and nothing stop me. Like it gets me through the dark times. I talked to so many
Mhm.
people, you know what I mean, that they said, man, ain't nothing stopped them. Like during the depression, it helped them get through that depression, helped them get that. Me, I created so much when I was going through a tough time. My wife and I, we was both going a tough time in our marriage and life, man. It was the creative juices. She wrote songs. I did video stuff, and we did stuff like
Mhm.
it was creativity because we that's the human thing to do to respond. So that's what I'm trying to say. Like nothing go stop me. Nothing should stop y'all, and not a penny in your pocket to you know
Support,
yeah. But
support
but
it.
it's dope to get paid for your passion though,
Yeah, yep. It
and
is.
but at the
It's the
same
one of the
time,
most rewarding things in life.
it is. And you said earlier that process of thinking something then manifesting, you gave me the chills, bro.
It's great. It's a wild feeling, and
Man.
you're not gonna get that feeling if you don't do it.
Mm.
Like, uh, people like we were talking about. The job promotions. People be happy about the promotions and getting more money on that check, or getting more,
Mm-hmm.
but it's just gonna put you in a place where it's like, oh, I need that. I need more of that. And
Period.
you never find that
I
that
noticed
true
that.
confidence,
Mm.
because we'll find ourselves chasing that and not chasing our own skill set.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And it's easy to forget about the skill set. It's easy to forget about what you can produce with your own hands when you're following that trajectory. You never even get the opportunity of like seeing your own abilities or seeing what you can do. So yeah, it's you have to do it. If you
Mm.
don't do it, you're not gonna like understand what it feels like to complete a project from your own skill set or your own abilities.
Mm-hmm.
You're not gonna. It's not gonna happen.
Mm-hmm.
It's not gonna happen any other way. You know what I mean? We can try and try and try, but no, you have to like put the work in on your own self,
Facts.
or it's not gonna work. So yeah,
Man, that's so good, man.
and
Like
it's not to be. I don't want it to be offensive. I don't want it to like. I'm not trying to offend people from the standpoint of, oh, work the job if you want to work the job. Like, you know what I
mm-hmm.
mean? Go for the promotion if you want to go for the promotion, but it's literally not the same thing. It's
That's all
it's
you
it's not.
saying. Yeah, exactly.
It's not.
Mm-hmm. And that's
Not it.
facts. Everybody should know that. They would know that. But no, I do. Yeah, I know. And listen, you're not gonna offend nobody here. You just speaking real and bringing
Mm-hmm.
clarity to that, man. And we need to hear this. This is dope stuff. I think like this is personal self discovery in the light of what we all been through. We've been through a pandemic, y'all. We've been through some
Mm-hmm.
stuff that doesn't include our own experience. That probably all that type of stuff. So we still dealing with that recovery. I think when it comes to create, we need as humans, regardless of our age, we need to just create something. We need to find something that, because what you basically saying is, man, Find who you mostly not find who you are. Some people be like, "Oh, I already know who I am," but I'm talking about being connected, like to yourself, because in this busy world, creating something does slow you down, especially when you're creating for yourself. You know?
Yeah, dude. The knowing who we even are, the knowing who we are.
Mm-hmm.
Um, there's levels to that.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
it makes you more self-centered to think that, all right, just because I know who I am, it means I'm done. That's it. That's the end of it.
Mm.
That's a self-centered thought process. No, we evolve in our understanding of things evolve over time.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't just, I know who I am in this moment and that's it.
Mm.
That will be us boxing ourselves in. It's stopping us from more opportunity. It's stopping us from, meeting different people. It's stopping us from developing relationships. No, that's more self-centered than, you know what I mean. We change over time. You know what I mean. Understanding how our brains are changing over time too is important. That's all a part of that process. You know what I mean. It's. I don't think the same way that I do now. That I, back when I was 24.
Yeah.
My thought process now is evolved over the time. I was thinking about this also. Um, life is tough already.
Period.
Already.
Mm-hmm.
Already. It's since it's tough, why would we make it tougher
Come
by
on,
doing
man.
stuff that we don't enjoy?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? If I spend so much amount of time at work, right?
Mm-hmm.
I make sure I double that with my craft.
Mm-hmm.
And this is why I schedule like most things around my craft,
Mm.
because if I'm gonna tell myself, all right, this is how much time I'm gonna spend working on Jim Casey's aspect of life. That's the CEO or the creator of my job.
Mm-hmm.
Um, if I'm gonna spend such amount of time working on the way he viewed his life,
Mm.
I need to at least bring that same energy back to what I can do.
Mm.
Cause I don't see him being no different than me. You know what I
Mm.
mean? He's a human being. I'm a human being too.
Mm.
So if I'm gonna spend this amount of time working on his ideas, then I'm gonna double that or sometimes triple that.
Mm.
I'm losing sleep over my skill set, and that's priority.
Mm.
There's no way that I will allow myself to give another person's concept or idea of life way more time than what I'm gonna, do for my own skill set. There's no way. There's
Mm.
no way. Mm-mm. I'm gonna triple the amount of time that I spend on my craft at this point. I'm
Wow.
not gonna spend less time on myself and spend more time working on another person's concept or whatever business they decided to create. No, I'm gonna triple the amount of time that I spend on mine, even if that means I'm gonna be tired the next day.
Mm. But it's gonna give you life. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
yeah,
Dang.
yeah.
Dang, dang. That's facts. That was dope how you broke that down.
Yeah, and it's tough to explain to, like, people that are, that I'm involved with or people
Mm-hmm.
that I associate with, or
Mm-hmm.
that's a tough explanation because they want your time too. So
Yeah. Are you
it's
talking about your romantic relationship? Something.
whatever,
Look at that. Look at you. You trying to be
whatever,
big about it. Look at.
whatever, whatever,
But any
whatever.
relationship in general, where can people find you? We came up on an hour.
Um, I'm
Or
Alriginal on all my platforms. It's you type in Alriginal, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna come up.
mm,
Um, yeah, yeah, I'm
the one and
Alriginal on my
only.
platforms. I'm working on a website.
Okay.
Um, all that stuff that is my focus now. To get myself in as many, like, different lanes as possible, or many different platforms as possible.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in the branding aspect of where I'm at right now. Branding, business
Okay.
strategy, business structure.
Mm.
All this is going to be pretty much surrounded around how my energy moves and
Yeah.
my energy. So yeah,
Your
original
pace.
on all my platforms.
Any advice out there for the creatives?
Um, Oh my gosh, you gotta stick with it.
Mm.
Stick with it no matter what. No matter what. Stick with it. You can't let anything deter you really from producing, from creating, um, from achieving those goals, set goals. Um, make sure you're around the right people too. Like the people shouldn't be bringing your craft or your ability to be yourself down. So if you're gonna follow through with something, just do it. But
Mm.
for sure, stick with it throughout the different levels and different hurdles and roadblocks in life. That's for sure. You gotta stick with it and not let any of these roadblocks deter you from that initial thought of like, oh, I want to do something or I want to do this, because it's going to be nothing but pushback. So sticking with it is what's key.
Mm.
And over time, like you'll start to see, the progress that you've made along the way, because it's measured in time. It's not measured in achievements. It's measured in time. You know what I
Mm.
mean? How long can you continue to do what you're doing versus, you know, any other thing? Is how long can you stick with it over time, really, and making sure that you're doing what you're enjoying, and not
Mm.
just doing because you want to look like this in the future, or you want to be like this in the future. No, make sure you enjoy what you're doing.
Mm.
Because if you don't enjoy it, then that's the wrong avenue to chase. So definitely stick with it and making sure you're enjoying what you're doing
Mm.
for sure.
That's dope. Man, that's dope. That's a mic drop or bag drop. Damon Dash just calling the bag drop. But anyway, that's money. That's major keys right there.
Yeah,
But yeah, I appreciate you on this. Of course, your thoughts is
yeah.
deep, man. I
Thank you
can't
for
wait to
having me too, for sure.
absolutely. I can't wait to break this down because the stuff you was talking about, like, and how all the stuff you saying is just so much fire that you saying. I'm like, dang, yeah, yeah, yeah. You definitely your voice is needed. It's
Mm.
wonderful. But yeah, let me. All right, y'all. Y'all love this. Go ahead and subscribe to it.
Peace.